Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Well, and finally, after all of these months, he's back. Well, we haven't seen him yet, but we've been told by the boss, the CEO, the owner himself of all Elite Wrestling, that Mr. Look in my eyes and what you see. The cult of personality. That is right. It was made official on this show. In just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. June 17th, 2023. At the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Will be the return of CM Punk. According to Tony Khan. It's official. The surprise, the drama, like the craziness behind it all, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's official. He's back. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on in this video. What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. I'm here to give you a quick review of AEW Dynamite from the May 31st, got the month right, 2023 edition, and it took place in San Diego, California. This is the Fallout show from AEW Double or Nothing 2023. And we're just 3 weeks away from AEW Forbidden Door 2. Now, that will be taking place the weekend before my wedding. We will see, of course, how things go about me watching that or not. I don't know if I will do a preview for that or not. I don't think I did a preview for it last year. I will still do a review for it when the time comes, but I didn't do a preview for it because, again, I don't know. I liked watching it for something different. Don't get me wrong, because even this weekend we got Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada announced, and we also got Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay announced. I am looking forward to seeing Will Ospreay, as he's definitely been somebody through his appearances on AEW TV that I've definitely got my eyes on. So again, I'll probably review the show, but I probably won't preview it like I did last year. Especially also since again that week of my wedding is going to be nuts. I do not know what content I'll be able to get out, but I'm going to try to get the Money in the Bank preview done with and everything all the week before, because the week of the wedding, I'm trying to make it as loose as possible for me. We're almost there, guys. But hopefully, starting in July, I won't be quite as overwhelmingly busy as I've been for the past year. It's been worth it, but it's crazy. But let's talk about Dynamite. The Fallout show, I'll say how I've been continuing to say it for a while. It's good. It's good. I just still, again, I'm not feeling like that punch. Like, the way I felt coming out of this episode of Dynamite, I felt the same way coming out of Double or Nothing. Good, but like it's in that gear where it feels good, and you want more, but it's not quite getting over the great hump, basically, if you know what I mean, if that even makes any sense. So it was still good. Stuff I liked. Most of the stuff I believe I liked. Some fresh stuff. Although, again, another problem here with Forbidden Door is, again, a lot of the stuff they're setting up on this show isn't really setting up for Forbidden Door. It still feels like right now the matches they're announcing, don't get me wrong, they're going to be good, but for those who do not watch New Japan or whatnot, we're not being able to get to know these people to get more invested in these matches. Which, again, is where I think AEW started to struggle with a little bit last year, besides, of course, the media scrum, is the fact that, again, they do these matches, these dream matches, with all these other guys outside of AEW. The problem is there's people who don't know them. Like me. Like, I know Kazuchika Okada is good. I know Will Ospreay's again. Will Ospreay is one I feel like they've gotten me a little bit more hooked on. Tomohiro Ishii, I know is good. Like, there's several people I know is good. The thing is, there are those who don't know them. They're not taking the time for us to get to know them. The current podcast, the current episode I'm on of Renee Young's The Sessions is when she interviewed Kenny Omega earlier this year. And like he said, when he came into AEW, he wanted to be booked. You know, he didn't want to be booked like, you should know who I am already. It's like, okay, some of you know who I am, but for those who don't know who I am, this is who I am. And that was the proper building that was needed to lead to Kenny become more well-known. And for people to get invested in him. That's something AEW needs to do with these like Forbidden Door shows. And these other guys they bring in from other brands. So, we'll see how it goes this year. Like I said again, expect a review. I wouldn't expect a preview, though, for Forbidden Door 2. But, let's roll in. Let's talk about the show. The show opened up with Bandito and the Lucha Bros taking on the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, the man who pinned Kenny Omega at Anarchy in the Arena. Yes, they gave Wheeler Yuta a pinfall victory over Kenny Omega. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they did it. Oh no, he pinned Bandito. Yeah, he pinned Bandito. Right, Kenny's not in the match, but Wheeler Yuta still did the pin. But the match was good. Bryan Danielson was again on commentary. And what really stuck out to me was when Bryan said something like, would Wheeler Yuta have been anything without me? He would have kicked out. He wouldn't have kicked out of that a year and a half ago. Like basically saying how far, try telling a story about how far Wheeler Yuta has come. And yet, they did it again in this match as well. Kind of like endorsing Wheeler. And eventually, Wheeler Yuta gets the pinfall victory again for the BCC when he pinned Bandito. Interesting again to see that they're starting to give other people besides the main guys in the BCC the pinfall victories. They're starting to give Wheeler some as well. Again, pinning Bandito's good. Pinning Kenny though at the pay-per-view, that was something else as well. And of course, Bryan then says how proud he is of Wheeler and he wants to go down and raise his hand. And so he does that. Good start there. Great booking. Good way to, again, continue to build up another star from the ground up. Matt Jackson was backstage. With Hangman and Nick Jackson. And Matt says he once told Hangman he brings the best out of them. But the BCC bring out the absolute worst in them. He never thought he'd try to melt the face of a man with an explosive sneaker. Which apparently he had to have some permission to do that. But here we are. But then Nick Jackson says no setback and keep them down. And Heyman will still be standing and still swinging. But then here comes Evil Uno. Basically, I see who your friends are now. We'll catch you later. And of course, Hangman is torn between them. When he's being interviewed, he's asked, but where's Kenny? He said Kenny is hurt, pissed off, and out of the country. But he's not, though, in Canada. And, of course, a lot of people think that means he's in Japan trying to scout some people out to help them out against the BCC, especially even though they haven't said they're a part of the BCC. They have another rising star named Konosuke Takeshita now teaming up with Don Callis, who had a segment later on in the show. Who, though, could Kenny be recruiting? We'll probably find out closer to Forbidden Door 2. We'll have to wait and see. Tony Schiavone is then interviewing Jay White and Juice Robinson. And then they start talking and saying, while talking of Double or Nothing, Ricky Starks thinks he's on top of the world right now, after he eliminated both of them from the Blackjack Battle Royale. But Ricky, though, isn't the champ still. Juice addresses FTR saying how Bullet Club Gold wants to know why you saved Ricky Starks. It doesn't make sense, because you guys aren't friends. Ricky ain't got no friends. He says FTR are slow and looked up. But he didn't actually think they were dumb enough to come get involved in Bang Bang Gang's business. Out comes the tag team champions FTR. Juice claims, oh, you guys are here to apologize. And Jay's like, no. They must want to join Bullet Club Gold. All they have to do is ask. Of course, you all know I hate that phrase in wrestling, but, this is not asking for a title shot. It is better to do it politely. While accidentally drops the mic, handing it to Dax Harwood, Juice gets right in with a cheap shot, and a brawl breaks down. Switchblade takes down Cash, and then Starks comes out to make the save. He gets on the mic and challenges Jay White to finish this next week. So I guess, is that going to be the conclusion? Or is that going to mean that they're going to actually set up for somebody else to come out and help Ricky Starks? Even though it'd be weird, because if it was FTR, it'd be 3-on-2. But I still like the idea of a possible tag match with FTR and Juice Robinson and Jay White. That could be some interesting television. Yes, that's of course, again, we got Tony Khan making the announcement that AEW Collision will not just feature on June 17th. It will not only be at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, but it will feature CM Punk. And yep, Punk is back. After months and months of wondering what the hell is going to happen to him after his fallout from the media scrum, his injury. It's like, we just want to know what's going on. Tony, though, could not say anything. But he will be back, making his return on June 17th. And I'm very intrigued to see what on earth he is going to say to address, of course, the crowd. The crowd of people who are torn, whether or not to cheer for Punk or to hate him. Or, wherever he's going to be. He's definitely going to be a polarized figure, but he is back. And I do look forward to see what he does, of course, on Collision. Now, I'm still not sure if I'm a fan of, again, with WWE, of course, falling down, this could be me, finding 2 more wrestling shows to watch, which is going to be Dynamite and Collision. For now, I'm still going to watch the opening episode of Collision. But I can't promise you I'm going to be keeping up with Collision when it comes out. I can also keep saying, I don't want them to be doing this soft brand split because they have to keep Punk separated from the wrestlers who don't like him. Honestly, again, Tony just has to get them to sit down, talk it out, and just move on. But I do feel some sense that we can finally move on, because we finally know for sure that CM Punk will in fact be back on June 17th. So I do look forward to seeing what he does there. And of course, there are other wrestlers who will be on that card as well for a Collision. We'll see, of course, what all they have to offer to the table. Especially if some haven't been in the ring for quite some time. But we got that. We also had a very good triple threat match with Swerve Strickland, Big Bill, and Trent Beretta. Very great back and forth match. Very great triple threat. Swerve gets the victory with a crucifix pin on Trent Beretta. And Swerve is really picking up some momentum. And next week, he will be getting a shot for the AEW International title against Orange Cassidy. I like that match. Let's see if they put the belt on Swerve. It might be time to give Swerve some gold. Although Keith Lee faced him, I do want to see Keith beat Swerve, but see where this goes. But they definitely got to capitalize and just do that match already. How many times have they teased that match? And it's like they're on for 2 weeks and they're off for like 10 months. On for 2 weeks and off for 10 months. The consistency, though, in the storyline does have to get fixed a little bit. I do agree there. But we have that. We have a video package on Chris Statlander's return becoming TBS champion. Renee Paquette then interviews the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. Billy Gunn, though, says things didn't go as they planned. Don't worry, nothing, but they're okay because apparently anybody can get beat at any given time. His regret, though, comes from blaming the two guys he cares about the most down. Max Cash tells them, don't blame yourself because they win as a team and they lose as a team. Bowen says they got screwed out of tag team gold and they want gold back. And of course, they would love Billy to have one more run as well, getting how old he is getting to be. So will they? I don't know. Like I said, the other problem again is these will they ever just give a story to these trios tag titles as well? Because that I don't know what the heck to do with that. Oh boy. So then we got Don Callis make his way out. And he's bringing out Konosuke Takeshita with him. The crowd, though, was so loud with boos that you thought they were going to, charge at Don Callis for what he did. And then he says, though, he sincerely hopes the boos are for Kenny, not him. No, he is the real victim here. He claims all of Kenny's successes has been because of him. And every morning he has to look at the scar on his head, and he blames Kenny for that scar. Kenny destroyed his family. He may have lost a nephew in Kenny, but he gained a son. And he points out Konosuke Takeshita. Konosuke is the best athlete he's ever met. Better than Ricky Dawson. Better than Antonio Inoki. Better than Akira Maeda. Better than Keija Muda. And better than Kazuchika Okada. Yes, he went that far and said Konosuke Takeshita is better than Kazuchika Okada. And of course, better believe Kenny Omega. Takeshita grabs the mic and cuts a promo in Japanese before saying, in English, they'll destroy the Elite and Kenny Omega. And then Don says he's going to build a new family out of the Elite. Cut out the Elite he's going to build a new family, cut the Elite out of AEW. He's on a mission. We also then get a video package of Arn Anderson talking with Wardlow about his victory and how biting the giant lizard's thumb was no big deal. Wardlow then says that he has no limits to how far they go, and if Luchasaurus wants next, he'd be happy to finish the job. Which I definitely think that match was the one I was kind of hoping would happen at Double or Nothing, was Wardlow versus Luchasaurus. But again, Christian Cage would have been good as well. But again, also, my thing is how many more times are you going to play hot potato with that championship? So that's what worries me a little. Speaking of Swerve, actually, his people from the Mogul Embassy, Gates of Agony, took on the team of Darby Allin and the International Champion, Orange Cassidy. And yet another fun, solid match. They win, though, with a coffin drop from Orange Cassidy onto Bishop Khan. Afterwards, though, Swerve, Brian Cage, and Prince Nana go head to the ring to help in a beatdown until Sting came out and cleared everybody off. It's been a while since we've seen Sting. Could they maybe start teasing that retirement match, though, between him and Darby? I think it's possible they could, because it is starting to, it is starting to get up there a little bit for Sting. But of course, we will see what happens. MJF then gets a video package about how Darby losing to a headlock takedown again is a proud of one-of-a-kind competition. He has, and they're running out of people, and nobody is on the level of the devil. Or is there? Hook came out until he was interrupted by La Faction and Gobernable, I mispronounced it, came out. And they start trashing on them and they attack Hook until Jungle Boy makes a save with a chair. And of course, people are saying that now Jungle Boy's teasing a heel turn. I don't think he's teasing it quite yet. It'd be interesting to see him go heel, be a shocker. But I think it's too soon, in my opinion. But of course, that chair, you're wondering, like, is this way he's going to turn? It's going to leave some pretty good suspense in the storyline, I feel like. Renee Paquette interviews the Outcast backstage. Toni Storm says she's done with whatever it takes to get her here, but nobody in that locker room is good enough to carry her bags. Ruby says nobody can touch her work ethic. It's so moving. And then Toni says she's going to be defending the title like a fighting champion. But Saraya questions, though, if there's anybody good enough. Storm says she'll keep a lookout. Will she now? Chris Statlander beat Nyla Rose in a TBS championship match. Did you really care about Nyla Rose being there? No, I did not. Post-match, though, we see Taya Valkyrie watching the match backstage all upset. Could she come to the dark side? Maybe get Taya Valkyrie and Chris Statlander next pay-per-view or two? Be interesting for sure. And then the main event was based off of what happened in the unsanctioned match. Adam Cole and Britt Baker taking on Chris Jericho and Saraya in a tag match. Again, match still good. I still question, though, if Chris Jericho and Adam Cole really do have good chemistry. Because, again, their matches, both of them they've had, although, yes, they're just like, beatings and whatnot, does it still feel like that Chris Jericho and Adam Cole just don't really have the best chemistry? Because, again, like, their match that was unsanctioned was fine. Wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was still fine. And this match, too, I, of course, thought was fine. I don't think Saraya did quite as much as I had wanted to see her do it, but they still might be taking it easy on her, getting her ease back into the ring. We'll have to wait and see, though. But that's my review of Dynamite. Again, I'm getting a little sleepy. I'm sorry about that. I might rest my eyes for a minute. But I gave this show a B. Like I said, good show. I get what they're doing. It's just need that little extra oomph, I believe. But that's my review of Dynamite. I'm going to try to do SmackDown tonight as well. Maybe get the more shorts done tonight as well. We'll have to wait and see. So guys, once again, what's your thoughts on this week's episode of Dynamite and on the return of CM Punk? Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 93. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your... I just noticed something. I'm not wearing my scarf. I'm sorry about that, guys. But always do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself.